Welcome to Expanding Truth. I'm your host, Connor Vetter with an E instead of O. Today is day 2 of the Atheist Week, where we respond to the best arguments for atheism. And atheism is obviously the belief that God does not exist. So, all these arguments should follow up by, therefore God does not exist. So today's guest is actually Michael Shermer, so we're going to respond to his best arguments that God doesn't exist. Yesterday we did Richard Dawkins, which is actually the most famous atheist. He's not as popular as he used to be, I would say, but Michael Shermer is another one up there. He's a very respected atheist scholar. So, without further ado, let's get straight into these arguments.
The approach I take is more positive, actually, in the sense of there's actually positive arguments against the idea that there is a God, which is anthropological, psychological, sociological studies of religion. And so the fact that where you happen to be born tells us which God you believe in and which religion you adhere to. And the fact that there's 10,000 different religions around the world, at least, if not more, and thousands of different gods, that's a strong indication that we created God, not vice versa.
Okay, so his first argument is that there's 10,000 different religions, if not more, and that means everybody has their own different opinions on God. And he says that's a huge indication that man created God, not vice versa. Now, I have a little problem with this. Let's just get straight into my problem. I'm going to show you the problem through a little skit. Here we go.
The fact that there's 10,000 different religions around the world, at least, if not more, and thousands of different gods, that's a strong indication that we created God, not vice versa.
Whoa, Shermer, that argument actually goes both ways, and here's why. You say that because there's 10,000 different religions, if not more, that's strong indication that man created God and not vice versa. I have a little problem, because there's at least 10,000 different individuals with their different opinions on how evolution took place. And I would say there's even millions of different people with their different opinions on how evolution took place. Now here's the problem. According to your own way of knowing things, that would mean that man created evolution and not vice versa. So that's my little problem, Michael Shermer. So now that we know that argument fails, and where you're born has nothing to do with the truth of a God existing, let's go on to his next argument.
Well, the problem of evil,
okay,
I think, is probably the biggest one in terms of the way things are in the world, mm-hmm. and the way things should be if there were a God or not a God. Mm-hmm. And the way the world is structured with evil, why bad things happen to good people. And I'm not talking about, why you hate me and why there's genocide. No, I mean just like innocent children getting cancer. Why would that happen? In a universe where there's an all-powerful, all-good God, that shouldn't be happening. In a universe where there is no God, that is exactly what would happen. So it fulfills that. It's sort of a prediction.
Okay, so his next argument is the problem of evil. There's a bunch of different areas in the problem of evil, like why does God allow us to do evil? Or, like this man's argument, why does God allow evil? And he's actually saying, why does God allow bad things to happen to innocent babies? So I'm just going to give my response to this. I don't really know if this is going to be a good response to you. I think it's a good response personally, but here's my response. So, why does bad things happen to innocent babies? Like cancer. So here's my response. So really right now we can't give a good answer, like a great answer I should say. We can give a good answer, but we can't give a great answer of why God allows innocent babies to get cancer. Now, a good answer is called the ripple effect, which basically says that everything leads up to a greater good, because the Bible says that all things work together for good. So here's basically the ripple effect, and I've actually experienced it in my own life with a baby. So about 7 or 8 years ago, my mom told me and my brother that she was pregnant with a sibling for us. So we were going to have a fun sibling to play with and probably make memories with for our entire life. But long story short, she went to the doctors for an ultrasound, and that baby unfortunately died of a miscarriage. That's tremendously evil, and the suffering for that baby, that's so sad. But there's two things. One, we know that baby is in heaven, and two, it worked out for a greater good, because if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't have my precious, beautiful little sister, Annie. So the point is, we might not always know the greater good of things. For example, with the miscarriage, that was a disgusting, evil thing, but if it wasn't for that miscarriage, I wouldn't have my little sister, Annie, which is the best thing that could ever happen, and she's the best little sister in the world. I'm not saying babies dying is good. I'm saying that evil things can lead up to a greater cause, and we might not know that exact cause as of now. So like I said before, we can give a good answer to this, but we can't give a great answer to this. And I think I gave a pretty good answer. I don't know if you really followed along, but I would say out of all the arguments in the entire atheistic community, the argument from evil is the best argument. That's all I can say. That's the best argument. There's no other good arguments. I'm honestly just going to say that. This week is basically just going over arguments that have been debunked many, many times. And this one has pretty much been debunked too, with a good response, but not a great response. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. That's all of his arguments. I think I did a good job covering them, and I hope this was an enjoyable video, and I hope you learned something. I don't know who we're going to respond to tomorrow, but please stay tuned in this playlist. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to expand the truth.